everybody, what's happening? I love that Chuck Zito show we have on Howard 101. Chuck does it about once a month. You learn about Chuck and his lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's just way out there.
Great.
It's great. It's really great. He's so natural. He just tells these stories like it's nothing. I'm listening to his story, Chuck. This is the Chuck Zito show last night, Robin.
Okay.
I'm listening to a story where Chuck decided to go see Aerosmith and Joan Jett concert with a bunch of his buddies on their bikes.
Uh-huh.
And then there's some confusion in the parking lot.
Uh-oh.
And how Chuck was disrespected. It's amazing. Like...
everywhere he goes, I bet you he gets disrespected.
Well, yeah.
In a second or two.
And if he does, he straightens it out. You got to hear it. The thing's 3 minutes long, but it really is incredible.
In that scenario, you don't want to be the guy disrespecting him.
No. You got to listen to it. If you didn't hear the Chuck Zito show last night, it's just really good. And he's got a bunch of guys who sit in with him, and they're real good, too, because everybody shares the same logic on the show.
Right. They're all men.
Yeah, and there's no voice of reason or anything. It's just like, nobody argues with Chuck. It's like, oh, man.
Right. This makes sense in Chuck world.
Yeah, and the story actually ends up where Chuck was going to beat the shit out of some guy, and like, I'm sitting there thinking, boy, that was an overreaction, Sometimes you just got to be a regular person, accept the rules. And the other guy's like, I can't believe you didn't fucking beat this guy's ear.
Like, Chuck, what's wrong with you?
Chuck, what the fuck?
You're slipping.
Yeah. All right, listen to this. This is the greatest show ever. I think Chuck's show is the best show.
On radio?
On radio, period.
The last show, we were saying we were on our way to Orchard Beach to go see Joan Jett and Aerosmith. We went out there and...
Jones Beach.
Yeah. We went to Jones Beach. And we all rode out there, and on our motorcycles, we had a nice little ride. There was, 9 of us, I think.
Yeah, 9, yeah.
And we got there, and I've never, in 30 years of going out there, I've never had a problem. And I usually just go out, and I just pull in through the main gates. They know who I am. They always open up the gates, and they're respectful, so we go out there. And they did that, so we get in the back. And we parked the bikes where the buses are, where Aerosmith and Joan Jett's buses. And then some guys yelling, you can't park here. I said, look, I always park here. There's no problem. Next thing you know, all the security comes out, and this fat lady comes out with this other guy, had a badge and a gun and everything, right? And she goes, you're going to have to get your bikes out of here. And I said, hey, we don't take our bikes. We're going to stay right here. And then somebody from this Live Nation guy comes over, and he had this, all the credentials with all access and everything else. And he goes, well, you're going to have to get the bikes out of here. We want you out of here. And I said, you're taking it upon yourself in order to throw me out? He goes, well, I'm asking you to go out. I said, well, you're throwing me out. And what happened was we left, and I even asked him politely. I said, do me a favor. I said, Rondell's a friend of mine. He's like the biggest promoter in New York for years. And I said, just walk me over there. Everybody else will stay out here. And it would have been a simple request. It would have been very smooth. And he said, no, I can't do that. So he wanted to be a prick. I said, okay, me and you are going to see each other. So we went out. We brought all our bikes. We went out to the main gate. And where everybody else was, we had to park. And looked like a bunch of jerk-offs because now the guy disrespected me. He embarrassed me in front of my friends and insulted me. So... I made a phone call. I had to make a call to, I actually called Danny Provenzano, right, in Jersey, because we did a movie with Aerosmith. He made one phone call. They found out I was out there. They sent tickets out there. I went back in. I got 10 more tickets from Joan Jett. And then I went and I saw Mr. Delsner, and I said, Ron, we have to talk. And he told me, I told him what happened, and he got all the presidents and everybody from this Live Nation. I met them. I said, now I want to see this guy who threw me out. Oh. They said, well, no, we'll take care of it. No, I want to see him. So after a few minutes, then they get him in a room. Then he looks and he just says, seen me and seen everybody. He says, it looks like the lamb's going to slaughter. I said, fucking right. I said, now you want to be a tough guy? There's no cops in here. I said, now you tell me to my face that you want to. Well, no, it's just. I said, no, now you want to be my friend. I said, the only reason why you're not getting knocked the fuck out is because I have so much respect for Ron Delsner and also Elliot Saltzman, who is Joan Jett's manager, right, road manager. And I said, all right, I'll knock you the fuck out. I don't care who's here and everything else. So it turned into a big fiasco, but everybody else gave me their numbers. That'll never happen again. And we went on, and I called up my friend Kevin, and I says, look, get back, start the bikes up. We're going back in and everything else. And what happened was the cops said, these guys are thrown out. They'll never come back. If they come back, they're getting arrested. And we just rolled right by everybody, went back VIP area again, and It was great.
But, yo, man, I'm surprised you didn't crack this dude.
I almost did, man, but I gave him the respect, and not him. I mean, I gave Rondell the respect because it was in his office, and I wouldn't do that. But he almost got cracked because Joan was there with who else? The beautiful Carmen Electra. Smoking. Smoking.
Yeah, she looked good that night.
Yeah. So we had a good time anyway.
Chuck should have just had sex with Carmen Electra, like demanded.
Yeah, why does he ever stop doing anything he wants to do? What stops him?
Joan showed me the proper respect. She gave me Carmen Electra to fuck. What a great show.
Oh,
that's a real man.
God. What a day he must have.
Imagine that poor guy who stopped Chuck. Like, now he's just doing his job, and he's shitting in his pants,
You're not going to hear a story like that on the Andy Dick Show.
No.
No, Andy got cracked by the guy who threw him out.
But Chuck's a good storyteller.
He is.
He really is. Jim, you're on the air.
Well, every story ends the same way.
Yeah, but that's
you just wonder who he's going to hit.
No,
you feel like you're listening to the Goodfellas or something.
His stories are all great, and they all end one of two ways. Either he beats the fuck out of somebody, or he fucks the shit out of a girl.
Go ahead, Jim.
Morning, guys.
Hey.
Zito's show is so good. That guy can tell a story like nobody else.
He's good, and they're all real. I mean, he's not bullshitting you.
And that's the best part. He's a man's man. Telling
I like that. First of all,
stories.
I like that 9 guys pull up to the Joan Jett concert on their motorcycles.
With no tickets, nothing.
And just park like the thing right next to the tour bus.
Right. They're inside next to the performer's truck.
And I've actually been told, like, I've gone to concerts where, like, some promoter will tell me, don't worry, you just pull your car down by the tour buses, and then they throw me out. Right. And I never think, well, I've been disrespected, you know. I just go,
they don't know, and I'm going where they tell me to go.
Somehow I tell people, I'm going to meet up with you later, and they laugh.
Just to get that all access, pull in unannounced, and then get insulted when they tell you to leave.
That's the most amazing thing. He doesn't have one credential. He doesn't have a ticket. He doesn't have anything.
Did you hear the part, Jim, when Chuck was talking about getting laid in Vegas?
No, I missed that part.
Okay, I gotta play this for you. I was just listening to it. Artie and I were laughing at it. All right, thanks. I mean, not laughing at Chuck, but mind you.
Never laughing.
No.
Laughing with.
Laughing with. Big difference. All right, thanks, Jim.
All right.
Here's Chuck talking about Vegas and why he loves it.
I told you, I always love Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So, I love going to Vegas. When you get off all your problems, man, you got to come to Vegas.
I know pretty well out there. I spent a lot of time out there years ago.
Yeah, well, when you finally do go through your bid or whatever, and you're able to go out there, we got to go out there because Vegas is great. I love Vegas, man. And what
do you mean when you threw your bid?
See, he's all stitched up. He's like can't leave the vicinity because he's got some legal problems.
A bid is like doing time.
Yeah. Oh. He's like on house arrest or something.
That ain't right.
But this is a man's world, and men have those kind of problems.
Yeah, and that guy's not even, the other guy, I don't know his name, but he doesn't cry about it or anything. He's like, yeah, fuck it,
Yeah, I've been to Vegas. I'll go again.
Yeah, after I get done with my bit.
That's the co-host. He can't even say his name on the air because he'll get in trouble.
He's wanted.
Because what?
Because he'll get in trouble or something.
Yeah, because he's probably supposed to be at home with an ankle bracelet on.
Well, look, he's got a show to do.
Hey,
I respect
don't
that.
Disrespect him.
That's why you got to love Chuck's show. It's just some show. Anyway, Chuck's talking about Vegas.
Some stories last time. The 3 girls in one night in 4 hours. There was 3 different girls I banged. Anyway, I had picked up 2 girls at the pool one day, right? And I bring them up to my room. And they were probably 22, 23 years old, right? So I get up in my room. Once I get in my room, they started making out with each other, right? Then they go in the bathroom. I says, great. There's 5,000 girls at the pool. And I got to pick 2 lesbians, right? So I'm just sitting on the bed. Then they giggle in there inside, and I can see they're doing whatever they were doing. And then they come out. So she comes up to me, and one of them goes, we have a surprise for you. And I said, you know what? I think I was surprised already, right? So they say, lay down on the bed. So I lay down on the bed. They start taking my clothes off, right? One girl starts blowing me. The other one's sucking on my balls, right? And I'm saying, this is great, right? And then they start switching. Then they start kissing each other, and I start banging them both, and then I was done, man. Once I came, I was done, man.
Everything was good.
Everything was good, man. It was great to be alive. It was great. Vegas is great. And they just started playing with themselves and eating themselves and everything. It was just great to be alive, man. So Vegas is always good to go.
Look at that. You know, sometimes we go to Vegas, it's not that good.
Yeah, you're up in your room bowling with high-pitched Eric, or just a drunk.
A lot of times I think it's terrible to be alive.
I think Chuck's like pissed that two chicks are eating each other out in the bathroom.
Right, yeah, I picked two lesbians. That's so funny.
They got 5,000 chicks. I didn't hear the rest of these clips. Chuck Zito's take on Danny Bonaduce. Well, I'm sure.
He's on Danny's side.
Of course.
He's got to be.
It's got to be.
How do you feel about that Danny Bonaduce, the way he slammed that kid down? I mean, he goes around acting like a tough guy. I mean, I would love to see you smack that guy around.
Well, I don't think that's going to be big of a fight, but I'll tell you what, I didn't know that until Jim McClure just showed me on the computer here. I didn't even know about that. But you know what? The guy jumped on him wrong, too, so he's just reacting. I would have did the same thing, but I would have cracked him, too, when he was down. So,
right.
See?
But I don't think he was that wrong. So... we got another guy, Irish John from New Rochelle.
What's up, Chuck?
What are you doing, buddy? How are you?
Not much. Just calling about the same thing.
The thing is, Irish John is on these channels all day.
How does he work?
I don't know. He started out early in the morning calling us, and now he's on with Chuck at 7 o'clock at night. I don't think there's much break in Irish John's day.
He has a legitimate, real sort of important job, too.
Right.
I think Sirius should be allowed to charge Irish John more money because he's overusing his subscription to Sirius. He's getting too much money.
Getting the full value.
He's getting too much value.
Say, how would you handle that situation that Johnny Fair played? But your answer, you said you would have cracked him on the ground.
Well, you know what? When you're not expecting somebody to jump on you, it's very, it's like a challenge, man. I don't know. I would have reacted the same way.
Me too.
But I would have made sure he never got up.
The thing that sucks, though, it's going to make this asshole more famous, you know? He'll get known for that, and, I hope Danny gets out of it, doesn't get sued. He should punch the guy in the face. I agree with you when he was on the ground.
Well, I don't think he should be sued for it, but the guy asked for it. Let's face it, you jump on somebody, you better make sure you could handle what's coming afterwards.
Right.
Now you understand, Fred?
Yeah, Fred.
Now that it's been explained
so now you're quoting. Now let me understand, Robin. You're quoting Chuck Zito.
Yeah, damn right we are.
Barometer.
Well,
absolutely.
Hey! Why are you disrespecting Chuck? What are you saying?
And Chuck,
you're trying to start something that I'm not going to even go near.
Fred's disrespecting you.
If there's anybody disrespecting Chuck, it's you.
You're being disrespectful.
You're trying to play Chuck for a chump, and I know Chuck is no chump.
Well,
are you saying Chuck is a chump?
No.
You think he's going to fall for this?
No.
I don't think so.
What is he carrying on about?
Look at Fred.
What am I carrying on about?
Trying to deflect.
What am I
disagreed with Chuck?
He realizes.
Actually, it's between Robin and Howard is trying to fuck with Chuck.
No. We
yeah, you two. Yeah, why don't you go see Chuck and talk to him about your thoughts on it?
I would agree with Chuck 100%.
Well, you'd better.
I agree with anyone. Here's Chuck talking. Now, I haven't heard these clips, but they're fun to listen to. This is Chuck last night talking some more about Vegas and banging chicks.
All right.
Another time I was in Vegas, right? One of the Super Bowls. So my friend, Johnny C, our friends.
Yes.
And Johnny C, I'm with Johnny C and my friend Vinny and everybody else from Crazy Horse, and we're like in Mandalay Bay. They had this big room set up, and there's all couches, and everybody's watching this big screen, the Super Bowl. So next thing I see everybody looking like behind me. So I turn around, and you see this gorgeous girl walk in. She had to be maybe 21, long blonde hair, bigger tits than Pamela Anderson, like a 40 double D, and she's with this older guy. The guy had to be, I don't know what, 60s or something. So I'm saying this girl has to be a call girl, because no way this guy's getting her. So we start making eye contact, right?
Uh-oh.
So the guy is watching the fucking show, and all my friends are watching the show. We make eye contact. So I walk out, make out I'm going to the bathroom outside, and then next thing you know, she comes walking out, and we start talking. One thing led to another. I take her upstairs in the guy's fucking suite, and I bang the shit out of her. And we go back downstairs. She goes sit with the guy, and I go sit with my friends.
Oh.
So Vegas is great, man. Vegas is great. And almost the same.
They call it Sin City.
Sin City is right, man. They got the right city, because there's a lot of sin going on there.
I wonder what happens if, a woman disrespects Chuck. What does he have to do?
He hits her guy anyway.
Right.
That's why you can't let your woman get you into trouble.
Right.
Women are trouble.
All right, here's Chuck in Vegas. And another one about banging.
Good Lord.
He's banged a lot of chicks.
And I always do good in Vegas. because the same with when I was at one of the UFC fights, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking over there, and people come up to me all the time. Hey, can I have a picture? Sure, I take pictures. I take everything, sign autographs. So one girl yells out, can I get a picture with you? So I turn around and says, yeah, I guess. So I look over there, and there was a girl, looked like, you know who Eva Mendes is?
Sure.
Like an 18-year-old Eva Mendes. Smoking, man. Beautiful. One thing led to another. Same thing, man. I said, who are you here with? She goes, well, I'm just here with some guys, no boyfriend, but he flew me out here. I said, oh, cool. I go out after the first fight. I go out. She follows me out there. Same thing. We start swapping spits. I get her. I find a room over there. We're in a room, and I got her against the wall. And the next thing I know, same thing. I take this girl after the fight. She meets me now in my hotel room, and we had a great time. Great time.
Good night.
Another good night in Vegas.
Boy. He gets to fuck girls like who?
You know what? Thank goodness all these guys with the private planes are flying these women into Vegas.
Yeah, for
so
Chuck.
Chuck can have them.
Chuck can fuck them behind their backs. You should really fuck Chuck, just to show our respect.
I don't think I could survive it.
He is a big guy and big hands. He sticks a finger in you. You're going to know what's going on there. You're going to wake up.
I don't know. I mean, and does he have any age limit? 18, 20?
No. We'd make an exception.
Everything is, somebody looks like somebody. You know, she's an 18-year-old Eva Mendes. She's got bigger tits than Pamela Anderson.
I don't know that he typically bangs a girl your age.
I don't think so.
You know, that's considered a cougar to Chuck.
Right.
I don't bang cougars, but Rob and I would make an exception.
He's got to keep it real.
Right.
Real young.
Okay.
What do you enjoy more, the stories where he's fucking or beating somebody
I like
up?
when he's beating people up.
I like when he's beating... well, they're both good.
Do you want to hear one where it says here, chick wanted to be fucked in the ass only?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's great. They're all great.
Does Chuck go there? What's the deal?
I don't know. Let's find out. I got 2 more clips here. One is about how some chick wanted to be fucked in the ass, and the other one is his take on Oscar de la Hoya.
All right.
And I also even have a clip of Chuck telling jokes, but I don't know if we're going to get to that one. Yeah.
We did a movie. We're out in California. And we did a movie a few months ago.
What do you mean we? Is that like
I know. He's always saying we. We did this movie. We did that movie.
I think he always travels in a group of people.
Entourage.
An entourage.
I don't know.
And find out the daughter of the guy who owns the mansion. Another girl, smoking, beautiful. So I go up to her and find out who it is, right? They tell me she's the girl. She's just, she lives here and everything else. So I go to her, and I just said, sweetheart, you're smoking. And
that's
she goes,
what he says?
Yeah, that's his line.
Rap?
Yeah. It doesn't take much. He's a physically impressive man. I say that girls are like, boy, you have no personality, and you're ugly, too.
They kick in the shin.
There's this homeless guy who sees me every day. I walk by in the street. Because, once in a while, I just want to walk on the street, you know.
Just take a walk.
Just to feel what that's like again.
Yeah. Feel the air.
And most people in New York are very respectful, but there's this one fucking homeless guy. Every time he sees me, he goes, Mick Jagger, Mick Jagger. He started out doing Mick Jagger, okay?
Really?
And, I just kind of walk by. I don't say anything because I just don't want to get started with the motherfucker, you know? And then I'm walking by, and now it's morphed into Mick Jagger. And he yells it, he goes, but ugly Mick Jagger.
Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't.
Ugly Mick Jagger.
He really said that?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, my gosh, shit.
It's like,
just leave me alone.
What luck. It's like, no, here's one guy who doesn't know who you are, but he mistakes you for another famous person.
Yeah. And then he's like, and I'm with my friend Pat, you know.
Ugly Mick Jagger.
And we walk. I'm always with Pat when I see this guy, and we always just kind of keep talking and ignore him. But I know Pat hears me being called Ugly Mick Jagger. He probably wants to laugh, you know. Because, you kind of are Ugly Mick Jagger.
This is the opposite of Chuck Zito.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine if that guy yells anything at Chuck Zito?
Oh, he'd be dead. It would be the end of the guy. You'd never just hear from him again.
There would be no ignoring.
He'd be, I'm going to crack you.
Ugly Mick Jagger, come here. We're going to see each other now.
He's disrespecting me?
If Chuck was with me, the guy would be keeping his mouth shut.
What does a good-looking Mick Jagger look like? I've never seen that.
I'm ugly Mick Jagger.
The guy obviously has never seen Mick Jagger.
Yeah, Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger. Ugly Mick Jagger. Ugly Mick Jagger. And there's chicks around, and it's just like, shit, fuck. You suck.
Yeah, you're a homeless guy, and you got to ruin my day.
Yeah, if I was Chuck, I'd crack you one.
smoke. I said, no, it's just a figure of speech. I said, wait. I don't smoke. So I go to her, and I just said, sweetheart, you're smoking. And she goes, I don't smoke.
But she must have been a real idiot.
That's how Chuck likes her. Perfect.
Chuck was probably like, holy shit.
Beautiful and
You're
dumb.
smoking. She goes, no, I'm not smoking.
I said, no, it's just a figure of speech. I said, smoking, you're hot, you're beautiful, you're smoking, right? That's how naive she was. She goes, I don't smoke, right? So now I tell her, I said, well, look, when we break for lunch, you want to come to lunch with me? She goes, well, lunch is in my house. So, they had the whole basement set up for the whole crew. So, of course, we break for lunch. Now I'm talking to the girl, everything else. So, next thing you know, we wound up upstairs in her room, which is all mirror. Her whole room was all mirror.
Oh, shit, a poor father. Next thing you know. Boy, next thing you know.
Yeah, I'm wondering what this conversation is. We were talking.
Chuck's like a porno movie. He cuts right to the fucking bedroom scene.
I can't imagine the conversation. She doesn't know the term smoking.
He doesn't waste much time on bullshit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of conversation, I don't think.
Break for lunch and they're up in the bedroom already.
Usually I'm like, I'm talking to a chick, and my next thing you know is I'm in front of the TV with a sandwich watching Biography.
While she's upstairs fucking Chuck.
Right. Next thing you know, I'm watching A&E.
Big bed, everything. And then we start swapping spits, and next thing you know, I'm feeling her up, and she's grabbing me and everything. So then she goes to me, and she goes, if we have sex, you have to, fuck me in my ass. I said, why? She goes, because, I'm saving my pussy for my husband.
All right.
I said, sweetheart, you don't have to twist my arm. That's for sure. So, next thing you know, and you know what? I didn't even use the bed. I had her on the floor. So I get behind her. We're both watching each other in the mirror, right? Now I'm banging her in the back, right? And she was insistent I have to bang her in the ass, right? So I'm banging her, and I'm saying, you know what? Let me just give her a little feel, right? Make sure she had a clip. Make sure it wasn't no fucking dude, man.
Right. That's a good point. I was thinking the same thing.
Wow.
Now, what if it was a guy? What's Chuck doing to the guy?
Chuck wouldn't even be telling this story.
That guy never got out of that room.
That was a guy?
Because she was, adamant about that, but she was so fucking wet, and my finger was in there. We was just having a good time. So we just had a good time, and I'm telling her, she want to go to lunch with me? That's my house. So that was another thing. And we just saw each other for the whole 2 weeks I was there. And just banging it. She loved it that way every time. So, you have any experience that way, Bubba?
I banged a few girls in the ass in my day. You got a little shitty sometimes, but...
fuck that, man. Let me tell you something. If that ever happened to me, man, forget it. I think it would turn me off right away. And it depends what floor I'm on the hotel, because I throw it right out the fucking window.
That's disrespectful to shit on Chuck.
He's throwing you out the window.
Imagine this chick goes flying out the window.
Oh, man. You got up to heaven. What did you do?
That ain't a figure of speech.
The visual on that is so incredible.
She disrespected me.
You got up to heaven. How did you die? Chuck Zito was fucking me in the ass, and I shit on him. He threw me out a window.
I imagine he's disgusted by Oscar De La Hoya. I'm just guessing here.
I think he's got to distance himself from Oscar. I'm sure he's had relations of some sort with him.
Does Chuck know Oscar De La Hoya?
I'm sure he knows, because he's a big fight fan, and and Oscar's had some huge fights.
Chuck travels in the boxing world. He does.
Maybe Chuck thinks Oscar just was framed with a Photoshop.
No, I think he's going to say, look, I got to cut him off, cut him loose.
What do you think about Oscar De La Hoya getting caught with the pictures, wearing a nylon and wigs and lipstick?
Well, you know what, Alex? I think that was all Photoshop.
See?
Tell you the truth.
I think so, huh?
Yeah,
it
because
looks pretty good.
I know the girl. Today
he looks pretty good.
You do anything with Photoshop. You know that with these computers are fucking amazing, man. But I know Oscar, and I don't think he'd be doing that shit. Plus, I know the girl who put that shit up on a website. So she used to work at Scores. She doesn't work there anymore. And actually, Scores even called them up. And Elliot from Scores even told Oscar that he's standing behind him 100%, that the girl was in trouble making everything else. So Scores is standing behind him. So
because Oscar's such a good guy. I don't want him to get his reputation tarnished.
Oscar's a great fighter, like I said, he besides that, he writes music, he sings, he's like a model. He could do anything he wants. So, of course, somebody's just going to put him, and like I said, it was Photoshop, all made up in Photoshop. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just saying, knowing him, that it was just a Photoshop.
Yeah, Chuck wouldn't hang around with a guy like that. No.
See, if they were true, he'd have to go back and take care of him.
Right. Anyway, there's some clips from Chuck's show last night I thought I'd share with you.
What a show.
What a show, for those of you who missed it.